What is going on, Libra? Welcome back to the channel, Elevated Spirits. It's Jazi, your favorite Cali reader. This is going to be your new moon solar eclipse reading, okay? So, let's navigate this just a little bit. All right, so today's reading is going to be based around our fears, okay? So, and the reason being why Spirit guided me to do this type of reading for everybody was because of all the fear that's surrounding this eclipse that's coming. Okay, we just had a full moon eclipse on the 24th, 25th, depending on where you're located, and then this one coming up on April 8th that a lot of people seem to be really focused on. There's a lot of fear surrounding it, a lot of biblical BS around it. Let me not say BS. A lot of biblical cycles, we'll call it, surrounding this event. It's being treated very differently than it has been, than past eclipses have been treated. So, I can't say, I'm not going to say, what will happen or not. It's kind of like nobody really knows till it happens, right? So what I am being guided though to do is to discover, kind of like dig deeper into the fears that everybody, the collective, every sign that, you're drawn to is being asked to look at this time. What fears are you being asked to identify, address, work through, and release? Okay, so we're going to be covering, kind of like diving a bit deeper into what those fears might be for you, to give you an idea of which ones you're being asked to work through at this time, because a lot of us, we have plenty, right? But and then how those fears are challenging you at this time, and at least one way that you can navigate and work through it. Okay, so let's get into this, shall we? So looking at the bottoms of the decks, it feels like some of you there's a fear here of needing to leave a situation that you're no longer happy in, okay? It feels like some of you have a new life that's waiting for you. Some of you may want a new life, and it feels like it's here, right? But some of you, there's a fear of regret. There is a fear of, maybe leaving a situation and it not working out, okay? Or some of you, it's like a fear of being happy. Like some of you do not know really what that feels like to be genuinely happy. And so some of you have this underlying fear that, fear of kind of like fear of success, right? But for some of you, it's like a fear of happiness, a fear of really getting what you want, getting what you wish for, actually having a life that you can look at and feel accomplished and feel proud of, right? Some of you have like a real honest fear of that. And that could be either due to limited finances at this time, or that could be creating limitations in your finances because of this fear of not being happy, fear of wanting a new life, but I can't get it, or finances are keeping me from having it. Okay, there's some type of limiting belief there that we're needing to look at. Okay, so yeah, it's like there's something, it's like some of you, it feels like, are making something bigger than what it needs to be. Okay, it could be, small things, like regrets that are coming up at this time that some of you are kind of letting plague your whole mind, like because you maybe should have applied to this job but didn't, and you feel passed up. Now throw the whole baby out with the bathwater. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that, where it's like some of you are, it's like there's this limitation or this fear of, for some of you, starting over. Okay, and I would encourage you that you're never starting over from scratch. You're starting over from experience. So allow the experiences that you've had to shape you. They've essentially shaped you into who you are and who you're becoming, okay, as you continue to progress through your journey. So it feels like there's a fear here of sadness, like a fear of, what if I regret it though? What if I make this move and I hate it, right? It's like, but you'll never know if you don't try. And for some of you, it's like, it could be but it's like some spirits helping me sum this up as, well, what if it doesn't work? But what if it does? Okay, I'm gonna just leave it at that. Okay, so let's get into this. So fears for Libra. So we have closure, okay? We have willpower. We have goddess of the moon, and we have ostrich trap. Okay, which is your interesting. You see that? Libra. Okay. Showing up in your own reading. Okay. So like I said, there's a fear here of, see, and it's interesting because, see, at the bottom of the deck is grieving. And then here we have closure. Okay. So there's something that some of you, like I said, are really being guided to leave, or feeling like it's time, like you've outgrown a situation, you've outgrown a connection, you've outgrown a relationship, an environment, whatever it might be for you. There's a sense here that you have essentially, there's something that you're needing to leave behind, and there's a fear that if I leave this, that I won't find something better, or that things won't work out for me at the end of the day if I let this go, or if I, you know, get this divorce, or if I quit this job, that there isn't going to be another opportunity for me waiting on the other side. Okay. And so I feel like for some of you, it's just a fear of the unknown, a fear of, well, if I do this, then what? You know what I'm saying? For others of you, this feels very specific and very rare for some of you, but this could be, because I have literally 3 cards that I'm looking at. One for sure that I know this card talks about, but the other 2 are cards with liquids in them. Some of you, this has to do with an addiction of some sort. It could be alcohol. That's what it's giving me, where some of you know that you need, that it's something that you need to stop doing. Maybe it's like creating financial constraints around your money. Maybe some of you are aware of that, some of you are not. But some of you, there's this fear of, well, if I stop, then how do I cope? If I don't drink, then what do I do instead, right? So for some of, like I said, it feels very specific, but that's not for all of you. But that came to me heavy with the liquids. Just, I didn't like being able to visually see the liquids here on these 2 cards, and knowing that this card in particular, this willpower card, is also what this talks about. And so I feel like there's some type of fear here of, you know, the unknown. What's on the other side of that? If I stop doing this thing, if I stop this habit, or if I leave this situation, leave this connection, what is on the other side of that? Some of you are literally scared of your own intuition. There's the fear of the unknown here, because as goddess of the moon, that speaks of your intuition, the unknown, and the need to essentially harness your own intuitive abilities and step into that in a way that you maybe never have before. And that's what I feel like is this new moon eclipse is challenging you in that way, by bringing it to the forefront, that your intuition is talking to you, it's guiding you, it's trying to help you. But the more we ignore it, and the more you essentially oppose it by doing maybe the opposite of what it's guiding you to do, that's where the regret comes from, is being like, I knew I should have, I got the inkling, and I knew it, and you kick your own ass after that, right? So some of you, yeah, there's a refusal to face reality for some of you. This is like seeing things in one lens, but it's really not like that. It's like some of you have a fear-based thinking that is creating more problems in your life than it needs to be. Okay. Closed-mindedness, evade, fake out, run for cover, steering clear. Some of you are literally just like putting your head in the sand, so to speak, where it's this energy of not wanting to look at something, not wanting to address the elephant in the room. Okay. And some of you, the fear in that is, I don't know what's on the other side of that. I don't know if I allow myself to see what I don't want to see right now, can I handle it? There's a need to face that. Okay. So 9 of Cups. So some of you, this has to do with, again, alcohol. Okay. It's weird, not weird, interesting how 3 other cards talk about, you know, liquids and alcohol, and then this card comes up, clarifying those energies. Okay. So for some of you, this could definitely have to do with, you know, alcohol, substance, things like that. Others of you, this has to do with, like I said, being happy, a fear of, you know, I feel like it's more so a fear of maintaining, being able to sustain your happiness once you get it, whatever that is, that makes you feel fulfilled. Being able to stay there is like, well, if I get this thing, can I keep it? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like some of you, that's what's creating blockages, though, is being too worried about the shoe, kind of like the other shoe dropping, right? It's like you're putting your focus in the wrong place. Anything you focus on amplifies, right? So if you're focusing too hard on, well, what if this doesn't work? But if I do this thing and I get this, can I keep it? Is it going to work out? It's like you guys are putting your attention in the wrong place, and that's creating more fear than it needs to, than it would otherwise. Okay. That's what that really feels like. So I'm going to clarify as I go, just so it's like I can get into these messages deep and then have to go back and clarify. And it takes a lot more time than I have the energy to give right now. So I did 4 readings yesterday, back to back to back, and I haven't had any type of energy boost that I have been the last few days. So I need to, I need to monitor my energy. So let's see, Spirit, clarify the 9 of Cups. Why is it here for Libra, for this sphere, what these spheres are? For some of you, this also has to do with making others happy, okay? Being too concerned about, well, if I do this to make myself happy, then how's that going to affect other people? And it's not to say that you can't consider other people's feelings in your decisions. However, at the end of the day, you're not responsible for anybody else's happiness. You're only responsible for your own. And in doing so, operating from that place, you give others permission to be in charge of their own happiness as well. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're married. It doesn't matter if you're in a relationship. It doesn't matter. Everybody, at the end of the day, is still responsible for their own happiness. Everybody else outside of that, including a spouse, is a bonus to that. Okay, so world, yeah. Some of you, this is a cycle. This is a cycle that needs to close. This is something that maybe has been ongoing, something that is maybe ancestral pattern that some of you you're scared to break because you don't know what's on the other side of that. And it really strongly feels like something to do with alcohol, like something to do with some type of substance abuse. But I keep saying alcohol because of all the fucking cups. Like, I can't get away from the fucking cups. So, like I said, that if that's not your message, obviously don't take it. It's not for you. Please leave it for someone else. But for those of you that applies, or that makes sense, there's a fear here of what's on the other side of that, but not realizing that underneath that, okay, is a whole brand new life for you waiting. Okay, some of you may end up regretting not doing it sooner. That's not going to be for all of you either, but some of you, that's kind of what this is that your finances, like the money you could be saving, you guys are putting it towards alcohol, and you could be putting that towards something else that you need more. You see what I'm saying? So it's like for some of you, it's like, I'm having a hard time saving money, Money isn't going to stick around if you're spending it on stuff that you really don't need, that really doesn't raise your vibration. Money is an energy and a frequency as well. Okay, it's not just paper. It has its own energy blueprint. So if you're not in alignment with, if you're, spending money on things that it doesn't want to be spent on, right, and you're ignoring, right, what it wants to be used for, it's gonna evade you. It's gonna leave, right? It's going to do what you're doing to yourself, which is, not wanting to look. It's like, no, I'm out of here, right? So some of you, if you're struggling financially, look at your habits. Look at what the things that you're buying, that you're spending more money on than you need to be, okay? So challenges that's creating at this time. We have Letha, intensification, okay? Grounding. And that did flip in reverse, but I, flipped it back up right because these aren't, typically really read in reverse, but I'm going to go ahead and just leave it like that. And then we have happy family, and we have friends. Okay. So for some of you Libras, these fears that you have is, for one, it feels like it's doing one of two things. It could be definitely two things for some of you. It's not only creating issues or rifts within your family unit, okay? For those of you that are in a relationship or have a family, it's creating challenges there, okay? Others of you, this has to do with, it's keeping you from being able to be grounded in your present moment. It's like, for some of you, it's like you're using it to numb, but it's not. It's like at the end of the day, when you sober up, your problems are still going to be waiting for you when you're done. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, for some of you, it's keeping you not only from energetically being grounded and being able to feel grounded in your body, but also it's making it where the seeds that you're planting, they can't root in and actually, come to make manifest. So for some of you, when it comes to your finances, where you may have been asking for a raise or a promotion, or, I need a different way to make money, a new stream of income, whatever it might be for you, this habit, right? Whatever this is, this cycle for some of you, it's something that needs to close because it's creating more problems than it needs to. Okay. So it's like what you could be the grounding of your, like the planting of your seeds, and it being able to take root and really, root down into, like a plant, like, so to metaphorically speaking, but how it should normally be able to do that, it's not being able to. And that is why. Some of you, it's your fear of, well, if I let this go, what's on the other side of that? Can I handle what, when I'm not feeling this way, when I'm not numbing out my reality? Can I handle all of whatever comes up when I'm not in that mode, when I'm not in that state of being? And so, and I feel like it's really just your mind. It's your ego, literally, not your shadow. That is your ego. Okay. Your ego is your lower nature. Your ego is what's scared, is what is that side of us, that entity that is created by our fears. That is what part of us is created through our traumas, our wounds. Okay. Unhealed trauma, wounds, things like that, that try to protect us. So it plays its purpose. It has its purpose and its role in our life. However, it becomes a problem when we let it drive. Basically, when you're out drinking with someone and you let the drunk person drive the car, it's like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody can do that. Okay. Not everybody should do that. I mean, nobody should do that. But what I'm saying is, not everybody has the capability to actually get you to your destination safely under that state of being. Okay. And so yeah, this feels like this is, potentially for some of you creating challenges within your family where things could be, happier, could be better, could be lighter. It's like it's not. And it's because maybe some of you are having a hard time grounding into your body and being present. You know what I'm saying? For some of you, it's affecting your friendship circles. Okay. It's for some of you, it's creating issues with your ability to show up, to be more friendly, maybe with other people, to, want to, be around people and meet new people, things like that. For some of you, it's kind of like starting to affect other areas of your life. Okay. So clarifying that is the Three of Swords. So some of you, this is challenging because it's bringing up pain and heartbreak that some of you have not dealt with. And that's what this time is supposed to do. Some of you, there's a fear of, I don't know, say on the other side of me feeling this pain that I feel, that I've been holding in, that I've been suppressing, that I've been using alcohol or whatever to suppress. I don't know what's on the other side of that. And that's really only the way to find out, though, is by going through it, meaning letting those feelings arise, letting that pain come up and sitting with it, letting it be there. Okay. That's just kind of like if you had a little sibling or a little child that was, went through their first heartbreak. Are you going to send them away and tell them to get over it? No, you're going to, most people, right? For the most part, we sit with them. We sit with them and we, hug them and let them cry as much as they need to cry. And we just hold them, and we don't always give advice, but we just sometimes just sit there and just let them cry it all out till they feel like, okay, I feel a little bit better, right? Or now I feel like I want to talk about it, right? That is what you're being asked to do at this time. And I get it. There's fear around that. I've had to do that many times by myself. It's not the easiest thing ever. However, that is, going through it is the only true way to get over it, is by letting those feelings come up, letting, the heartbreak, the pain, whatever it is that you're holding on to, that is trying to surface at that time, let it be there. That's sometimes all that energy wants, is to be acknowledged, to be seen, to be heard, to be felt. And next thing you know, as quick as it has come up, is as quickly as it leaves. Okay. That's obviously not all the time, but a lot of times that's how it is. It's, it doesn't stay nearly as long as it can, right? But that's only when we allow it to present itself. And it's, and that's where how you start to truly heal yourself and prevent disease, because that is what all disease comes from, is trapped energy that has nowhere to go, that we refuse, right? That we refuse to look at, that we put our head in the sand about, and that we're closed-minded, we're closed off, we don't want to look at it. That is how disease is created. Okay. So, because it's dis-ease, it's unease in the body, right? Imbalance of, your energetic imbalances in the body, trapped energy that has nowhere to go. It doesn't know where to go. And that's exactly what this is. Ostrich trap. Okay. So let's clarify. What is this Three of Swords for Libra? Where is it here? And I know that my readings be deep, y'all, but that's what this channel is about. I'm not into all the drama and the extra bullshit. If it comes up, it comes up, but that's not my focus. I'm focused on you, your self-development, your healing, your journey, okay? Because everything else falls into place as a byproduct, okay? So, Knight of Pentacles. So for some of you, this has to do with something, some pain that some of you have been holding on to for quite some time. This could definitely have to do with the father figure. For some of you, something that happened, like I said, a long time ago. This could have to do with money, you know, some type of financial opportunity or something that, like I said, took place a long time ago. Something that maybe a promotion or something that you got passed up by or on or something like that, that some of you are still holding on to. And we think that, oh, it's something so small and whatever, but you'll know based on when it comes up, how you talk about it. That's how you know if you really gotten over it, because of how you talk about it. So if you're talking about it and you're like, yeah, man, fucking, it was like 15 years ago and I had this fucking job and they did it and they fired me, bro, and blah, blah, blah. Like, if you're still talking about it in that way of feeling, of where you could tell, like, you still feeling a kind of way about that, right? We think that, you know, that, oh, it's like, but nah, that was a long time ago. I got over it. You know, it's cool. I'm working now and I'm doing this and that and blah, blah, blah. You're only fooling yourself. There's something still there. Okay. I hate to say it, but that's how, like I said, that's just a way to know. And there's power in that, because when you have the awareness of what something is, when it presents itself, you then also simultaneously, the opposite end of that coin, there will be a solution that presents itself as well. Okay. That's where the power lies, is by acknowledging the problem. You then, on the flip side of that coin, you have a solution that will present itself too, if you're open to it, obviously. And sometimes, like I said, with this healing journey, it really is that simple, to just let it come up, let it sit with you, let it be. When someone comes up to you and they're just like, I just need someone to listen, I just need an ear, I just need to talk, right? And you don't say anything, you don't say a mother-loving word, and you just let them talk and vent. Sometimes that's all they need, and they feel better. And they're just like, oh, I feel like a whole new person, thank you, right? Like, really, that's sometimes how simple it is, but humans have been conditioned to overcomplicate everything. That's how they stripped us of our power, okay? And people like me, who have identified this and who've been doing the inner work, I'm here to help you to take your power back, okay? And start simplifying shit again, all right? So let's keep going. So what is at least one way that you can navigate this, okay? So oh, I'm tripping. Okay. So we have observer, okay? And I was just talking about that. Look at how you respond to things, okay? Observer. There you go. And then we have loyal heart. And then we have optical illusion, card 7, okay? 2, 3, 7. So what I'm getting here, Libra, is you're being asked to, how you can navigate this is observing your thoughts, okay? Observing, like I said, how you respond to things. Do you react or do you respond? There is a difference. So as these feelings come up, as these emotions, this pain comes up, allow yourself to just look at it. It's the same way you would if you were laying on the ground, on the grass at a park or something, or at the beach, whatever, and you're watching the clouds go by, okay? The same way you're watching a movie, and you just observe. You don't attach to it. You don't put yourself in their shoes. You don't, pretend and act as if it was you. You don't need to do none of that. This is how you do it. You observe, okay? Observe also, what am I dedicating or devoting myself to? What am I so loyal to? Am I so loyal to my fears? Am I so loyal to this old story, this old narrative that doesn't work anymore, that has not been serving me for quite some time? You're being asked to observe. What are you loyal to? What are you loyal to? Are you loyal to your fears? Are you loyal to that little voice in your head, that ego that tells you that you can't do that? You're not good enough for that. You ain't got enough money to do that. That's not going to work. Whatever it might be, right? Are you loyal to letting those live rent free in your mind? Okay. So there's an opportunity here to really identify what that is, because shit is not what it seems. Optical illusion. Something is a fucking illusion, Libra. And you need to know this, okay? Mirage. A trap. 2 cards, okay? Of this whole thick deck that came out. There's over 100 something cards in here. Okay, 2 cards that talk about a trap. Okay? It's a fucking trap. Some of you, it's your own ego. And that's why the alcohol, for some of you, it has to do with alcohol. That is what's keeping you trapped. That is what's keeping you stuck. Okay? That's what's keeping your fear so prevalent in your reality. Okay? That is what it is. That's what it is. I know, because I used to drink. But that's a cycle for my family, okay? My mom is a heavy drinker. Not heavy anymore, but she drinks every day. She drinks wine every day, okay? So I'm just saying, it's a trap. It's making you think that something is what it's not. And when you sober up and you realize, oh shit, it's not as bad as I thought, or that's not, like, it's like you view things very differently when you're drunk or when you're drinking, when you're under the influence in some type of way than you do when you're sober, okay? It's like things, it's just kind of like psychedelics in a sense, but obviously that's on a whole different level. But the point is that when you're under the influence of some type, it switches your energy. So then it makes you view things differently as well. Where something that would have offended you, that maybe you would have laughed at if you were sober, you fly off the fucking handle after you've been drinking some. You see what I'm saying? Okay, there's a reason they call it wines and spirits. Because what that does is that the alcohol opens you up to these lower vibrations. They need a house. Okay, those alcohols have their own spirits tied to them. And so when you drink them, it lowers your frequency, which makes you the perfect vessel, okay, for that spirit to house. And then you wonder why people say, yeah, you got some of that and it was like you turned into a whole other person. Where do you think that shit comes from? Okay, please do the etymology. Do me a favor, look up the etymology and the real meanings behind alcohol and what those words mean. Okay, like seriously, look at the Latin meaning, the further, deeper meanings of those words, and you'll see what I'm talking about. There's a reason that they call it wines and spirits, because what it does is it opens you up to these lower vibrational energies and entities that then take over your body for that period. Okay, and next thing you know, you need more. That's what it is. We need to release that. Okay, because for some of you, like I said, it's creating not only issues within your family dynamic, your friendship circles, whatever, but others of you, it's creating problems with your money, with your finances. Okay, like I said, it's not going to be for all of you, but whatever it is, it's an illusion. Okay, so that's what is going to help you. Is it's a projection. Okay, it's like these spirits, these lower vibrational energies or entities are projecting the idea that you can't get out of that, or this isn't going to work, or you might as well just stay here where it's more comfortable. Right? Whatever the negative thoughts are, the limiting beliefs, the fears that are flooding your mind for some of you, you have to know that it's a projection. Okay? It's things that are projected, and you only take them on when you're vibrating on that frequency. Okay? So, then that's why I'm saying some of you are being asked to observe where people are maybe projecting onto you, or where you're, that ego is trying to project fear onto you to keep you stuck. Identify that, be able to ooh, I see what you did there. When you catch it in the act, if you're under the influence, you can't see that like that. You won't see it like that. It'll be like, I feel good though. Who cares? Right? But when you're sober, okay, it's like you see things very differently. You see it in a light you couldn't see it before when you're sober. Okay. So clarifying that energy is the 7 of Pentacles, another 7. Okay. And the Chariot. So like I said, this is about, again, this is the observation card, okay? So this is about really identifying, looking like, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is what I'm putting energy, time, money, whatever it is into, am I yielding the results that I want? If it does have to do with drinking, for those of you that applies, is this really helping me? Do I really feel good afterwards? Is it getting me where I need to go? Am I making money when I do this, right? Or am I losing money? I feel better temporarily, but is that really helping me solve the deep-seated, rooted issue? Probably not, right? So it's about really identifying, doing that observation, and really seeing, is what I'm putting, what am I investing, is it really worth it, right? And this is about getting in alignment, okay? This is about identifying what is growing, what is helping you, what is not, and then getting in alignment so you can move forward. This is getting your head and heart on the same page. Okay, so you know, when you're in alignment, you don't need the reins trying to hold and direct your light and your dark side, because when they're in coherence with each other, when they're in harmony with each other, it's not necessary, right? They both know the goal, they have a plan, and they're on it, okay? And that's how you achieve the victory that the chariot represents, is because your head and heart are on the same page, they're in alignment and coherence with each other, and so it's just full steam ahead after that, okay? So, and some of you, this could be also, you know, asking you to look at, you know, do I need to move forward? Do I need to move on? Do I need to really like jump in my car and just fucking go? Am I growing where I'm at? Am I yielding the results that I want? And if not, I need to go. Okay. Some of you are thinking too hard about, you know, well, where am I going to live? And and asking so many questions. Some of you, you're being guided to just jump in your car and just drive, you know, just dip. And I know, I get it. That's not possible for everyone, but, you know, or is that a limiting belief, or is that the illusion, right? Is that what you think? Well, I've this obligation, that obligation. I understand. And that's sometimes a sacrifice. Sometimes you still have a choice. It's just not the most comfortable choice. And that's where we get ourselves stuck sometimes, because we're so worried about other people and considering other people. And I get it, when kids are involved, that's one thing, but I'm talking about when it's grown ass adults. Sometimes we just, you know, we're being put in a position to really put ourselves first, especially if that's something you're not used to doing. So that's something to consider in itself. All right. So let's get one more. Let's clarify the Seven of Pentacles with the Nine of Swords. So yeah, it's so some of you, again, that's observing the anxiety. Okay. Observing what is making you so anxious about making this move. And this is about being confident in what you know you need to do, okay, and going for it. Like, literally going for it. I need to get the other deck. Because I forgot that I wanted to get some advice for you guys from your ancestors, your benevolent ancestors, meaning the ancestors that are here to help you, that are here to support you, that want to see you do good, that want to help you and support you in breaking generational cycles for the bloodline, okay? Not all ancestors are here for that. So that's why sometimes you call on certain ancestors and you feel like they're not helping you, because they're probably not, okay? They're not all here for that. So yeah. This is about, you know, identifying where your anxiety and stress is coming from, okay? Really allowing yourself to look at that. And I know that's difficult, okay? But it's necessary, because I feel like some of you will then see that it's just a head trick. It's just your mind playing tricks on you, making you stress out over something that really isn't stressful at all, okay? And when you do that, when you allow yourself to do that, you're able to see things clearly. But you can't see things clearly when you're under the influence, okay? So so for Libras, from Libra's ancestors, what is some advice for Libras for this new moon solar eclipse? So you have unconditional love that came out. Unconditional love. Mother Mary, 33. Diamond. Okay. So some of you Libras, your ancestors want you to know that you are loved unconditionally, meaning you're loved beyond conditions, meaning there is not a single thing that you can do that will make them stop loving you. Some of you, that's part of why some of you are maybe in this where these fears have stemmed from in the first place, is not feeling loved properly, not being loved for all of your flaws and all, right? But that starts with the self, okay? So I feel like for some of you, it would benefit you by doing your absolute best to start loving on yourself more, okay? Love yourself no matter what condition you're in, no matter what your circumstances may be. This is learning how to love yourself through it all, through all your imperfections, through all the things you want to improve but couldn't, or just haven't been putting the energy towards, whatever it might be. It doesn't matter. Love yourself anyway, okay? And know that your ancestors love you regardless anyway. No matter what you feel like you do wrong, no matter what mistakes you've made, no matter how you judge yourself or how you judge others, you need to know that you are still loved beyond all that, okay? So then we have creativity, another 7. 7, 7. Where did the other 7 go? Oh shit, I didn't even realize that the 7 of Pentacles and the Chariot, those are 2 7s as well. Oh my gosh. Holy shit. That just dawned on me right now. 7, 7, 7, 7, Libra, okay? 7, 7, 7, 7. That's interesting because that also came out in, I want to say, Leo's reading, as well as, I don't know what other reading, but one of the readings that I just did, they had all these 7s that came out. So this is like a very, it feels like a very spiritual time. This eclipse is really heightening a lot of our gifts and our abilities, and it's like seeing this reality for what it really is and not what we've been thinking it was this whole time, because our vibrations have been so low for so long, right? So anyway, back to the point. Creativity. So this is about tapping into your solar plexus energy, okay? Your sacral chakra energy. See all that orange going on over here? Okay? Red. Can't really tell it's red, but because of the light, but red and yellow, okay, with the orange. This is that is this, okay? Tapping into your creative, fiery, passionate, manifestational, okay, energy. Your confidence, right? You're being asked to tap into that, to get creative, okay? Start doing things that help you be creative, that honor your creativity, especially if things are things that you once used to do but you don't do anymore, like drawing, painting, you know, poetry, writing, whatever it might be. This is your indication to get creative, okay? Don't think too much about, you know, well, what if it doesn't do this, or who's gonna like it? It doesn't matter. That's not what it's about. It's about clearing the energy. Start there, right? Like, do things. This is about tapping back into that childlike part of you, okay? That also, it's like, as a byproduct though of you allowing yourself to do these things, it relaxes you, okay? It distracts you from wanting to overindulge, if that applies. It relieves stress, okay? It relieves anxiety. It clears, like I said, clears the energy centers, okay? It does all these things simultaneously, all together. And who knows, you might create something that you just might make another stream of income from, right? Especially with the financial constraints and all that. So this is like, instead of putting your money into things that you don't need to put it into, if alcohol is one of those things for you, and instead put that money that you would spend on that towards, you know what, instead of me buying this, let me buy a paintbrush, let me buy a painting set, let me get a canvas, let me get some, you know, color pencils or something, let me get something else and get creative. Okay, so some of you, you know, are being guided to basically start shifting your behaviors, okay? Don't be so hard on yourself. Because again, you're loved unconditionally. You're being reminded right now that you are loved beyond measure. You're loved beyond conditions. You just have to know that and feel that for yourself. If you don't allow yourself to feel that, obviously you're gonna think it's a load of shit. I get it. I've been there. But you know, you have to know and just trust and accept that, you know, I'm here for a reason. Period. You're here for purpose, because you do matter regardless. It doesn't matter what you've done wrong. It doesn't matter what you do or don't have, what you lost, how much money you do or don't have. It doesn't fucking matter. If you're here for a reason. And now it's time to honor that and love yourself beyond anything you feel like you don't have or you can't do right or haven't done right. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't. It doesn't. So, Libras. Oh, I almost forgot. Shit, I was not trying to have this reading be this long, but whatever. It is what it is. All the other ones are this long, if not worse. So, if you stuck around till this point, I appreciate you, because I'd be getting drained for y'all doing this low key. So, it is what it is. So, think about a question or something that you would like a time frame regarding, okay? And I'm going to pull you a time frame card, okay? Before the next full moon. Kind of flew out, so let's see. For Libra, time frame for their question. What's a time frame for Libra, please? Okay, so I had 3 that came out. So first one, is around Valentine's Day, okay, or that's already passed, so that would be next year sometime, February. And then the second one that came out is before the year ends, okay, and the third one is before the next major holiday. And I'm pretty sure the next major holiday is July 4th. So that's like a month and a half, okay? So, actually, whoa, way longer than that. I'm tripping. Today, this is April. April just started. May, June, July. Whoo, child. Okay, my bad. Like 3 months. Okay? I'm sorry. I apologize. I've been doing better with not paying so much attention to time. So they'd just be like, you know. So anyway. But yeah. So I hope this reading was helpful. I pray that it gave you some clarity, some guidance, something to really consider and allow yourself to, you know, really delve into. Okay? You deserve the freedom to not, you know, fear your own happiness or, you know, what's on the other side of what you think is something to be afraid of. Okay? So I love you all so much, and until next time, howdy.